At Vibra Finance, we seek out the hidden gems in cryptocurrency. We will tailor your portfolio to work for you. Are you ready to transition your investments from traditional markets to cryptocurrency? Are your coins staked and earning interest? Are you overwhelmed with all the jargon in crypto? Is your portfolio underperforming and you want to reposition into consistent winning blue chip coins and viable projects? Do you feel like you missed out on DeFi, Metaverse, and NFTs? Here at Vibra Finance, we provide you with the data, skills, and tools you need to stay on top of the digital asset market. Vibra Finance, we are the future of crypto.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Vibraville. Man, that intro is so good. Shout out to Shree for that, for taking the time to remix that. I was getting striked for that video that I spent $3,000 to have made when we were out in Vegas before the PulseChain conference in 2022, and started using it for YouTube, and every single video was getting copyright striked and shadow banned. So finally, the shadow banning from that is gone, but I'm never going to see the algorithms. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Man, it feels good for you guys that have been here throughout the whole bear market, that have listened and bought the coins that I've been talking about consistently for 3 years now. And you know what they are: XRP, XLM, and HBAR. SPX is a meme coin, or agent, or meme coin. BitGet is an exchange token. Virtual is the agent project. You know, those were like the wild cards no one saw coming. But if you did actual research like I did, it was obvious that these were going to be the winners, or at least do phenomenal this cycle. I didn't think they were going to start to front run the market, but you know what? This is even better now. Even better this way, okay? This means it's going to play out more along the lines that I've been telling you, that the money is going to come through stable coins from institutions, and then retail is going to come in. It's not going to be a retail cycle at all. That's done with. Retail's tapped out. They went broke screwing around with memes last year. And it sucks, but that's reality. You know, unless Trump does something and cuts a stimulus package for someone, starts giving people checks, I don't know. Until people feel like they have money in their pockets, nothing's changing. So it just feels good, guys, to be smashing. And look at this. Stronghold, fam, is breaking out. I told you it will never, ever be under a penny again. And we actually touched under a cent one day. I said it over here. Oh, no. Looks like we never did. Yeah, we did. Here we go. Never mind. Right here. One day we went under a penny. We're never going to be there again. It's over with. Stronghold is now about to be 2 cents. So you only get 50 per dollar. When I first found it at 3 zeros and a 3, I think you got 300 per dollar, or 350 per dollar. Well, I don't even remember, but it was a lot more coins. And look at Stronghold. This, to me, it front runs the market. When I see Stronghold pumping, I know we're going to have some fireworks come in the next couple days. It's connected. It's built on Stellar. And where did Stellar come from? The founder, Jeb McCaleb. Oh, yeah, that's right. He came from Ripple. And where did Ripple come from? Oh, that's right. The NSA, our own government. And when you really think about it, I think David Schwartz was one of the architects behind Bitcoin, or he first published a paper working with the NSA, or a patent for some kind of crypto in the late 80s. Okay. So he knows the origins of Bitcoin. I'm convinced it came from the government. But if it did, so what a perfect story. This guy, Satoshi Nakamoto, who no one knows who he is, created the perfect project, and now he's gone and dead. If nobody would ever have went towards Bitcoin if they knew, yeah, it's this brand new coin that's going to, take the power away from the banks, but it came from the NSA or the CIA. No one would have bought into Bitcoin. They had to pitch it that way, and it completely makes sense. And I've been really going down the rabbit hole, looking at the origins of Ripple, looking where Tesla came from and the takeover Elon had there. And it was just inorganic. And I don't think these massive companies were started by people that just had an idea or worked hard. I think they were put in place. And how much they went through to hide the origins of Ripple, from the INSA to this lady who worked there, to transferring it over to a bank that Brad Garlinghouse was CEO of at the time, and then Jed McCaleb becoming the alleged founder. And now he's going back and changing his story. Like, how do you mess something like that up? If you guys founded this blockchain, you would remember exactly how it happened, the day you were there, when we were all in that room and the idea clicked, we were eating, you would know exactly how that happened. So I don't know. I read people and I can think differently. And it just doesn't add up. So I don't think they're the organic guys. And that's why, as great as PulseChain is, and we're going to talk about it tonight, they're polar opposites. So they are the perfect other coins to put in your portfolio. PulseChain is real DeFi for the people, can't be shut down. XRP and XLM are the infrastructure to move money around the world from us peer-to-peer, business to business, when we're out paying for stuff in retail settings, out, buying stuff. All the online merchants, when we go to pay, it's instant settlement with crypto. That's what Stellar is. XRP is for the banks, moving money around the world instantly. Okay, they have complete different use cases. They don't step on each other's toes. So they're perfect balance. You want to have a diversified portfolio across the best projects and the best, hottest narratives, which are AI, real world assets, and then utility and DeFi. Because that's where the institutional money, the money that's going to really change how retail looks at crypto when they see the shit pumping, that's going to be the institutional money going into DeFi, into Aave, into Compound, into Athena, into Ondo, tokenizing a bunch of stuff. Real world assets starting to pump. When ArcX and they start putting real estate on chain, that's what's going to drive the values of a lot of these projects. Hedera with tokenization with Dovu, the stuff they're doing. Just got to have the best projects and the best narratives. Real world assets, pick 3 of the best. AI, pick 2 or 3. In DeFi 2.0, pick some PulseChain projects. Look at Flare. And then you're setting yourself up for the long term, for success. You're not just gambling on, oh God, if this doesn't 100x or 500x, I'm so screwed because I went all in on this and leveraged my house. I sold my kidney. Now I got an appointment to sell one of my lungs so I can just go all in. And it's like, no, just DCA into the best projects and you'll win over time because they're going to appreciate at prices we can't comprehend. What up, Camo Joe? Crypto and Cardboard. 3L. El Macho 3L. Number 3. Let's go. David Curry. What up? What up? I see you in Patrick's streams. I try to catch those when I can, but 12 is just a bad time for me. Tid Top. Appreciate you, bro. So yeah, guys, look at Stronghold. It seems like every time I pull this up, something's breaking out hard or pumping. That gets you excited. And that's why being diversified is so important too. Because when you have a couple of coins that have just been down forever and nothing's happening, it starts to wear on you. You question shit. But when you have a coin that's pumping super hard when everything's kind of doing nothing, you're like, all right, I'm doing something good now. This month, look at Bear. Absolutely crushing on PulseChain. So the good memes are going to do well. And even the teddy bear, that's going to do well with its liquidity bonding. And that's why PulseChain is kind of unique, guys. It really is. There's nothing else like it out there with its liquidity bonding. But I just want to talk about Cubic and then we'll get into PulseChain. Cubic has been on a nice little run. up to like 2,300 or something like that, maybe 2,200. Not bad, not bad. But I started staking. So the website is QEarn, and if you just go to cubic.org, you can go to like the ecosystem and go to the tab, and it'll bring you here. But you just click start locking, and when I did it on day 2, it was 184%. So I was getting really good yield. And it cuts down as more people come in, but I think I have to claim and relock each week. I'm not too sure. This is my first time, but man, earning, even if it is 180% for one day or 150% for one day, like that's a lot. It adds up. I promise you. Oh, sorry about that. So if you have your Cubic just sitting in your Cubic wallet from the App Store or on the website, you just start locking and connect. It's super easy. There's my wallet if you want to send me some. All right. Yeah, I guess it's not going to show me how much I got or whatever. Oh well, but we'll keep looking at it. Cubic, guys, it's my number one most bullish AI coin for the long term. Not like speculative, like Spectre that's going to pump real hard this cycle, or GPU and we're going to dump it like that. That's potentially a multi-cycle play. And Cubic, that's why I really like it. That's why I really like it. Yeah, it's funny. When I was decided to do a PulseChain stream earlier, everything was pumping, and now it seems like today we kind of topped off earlier. Now we are dumping back down, but it's all right. PTGC's been on a nice little run. Alien Wrap Bitcoin, damn, was that like 840 earlier? Dang, 10% when it's worth $850. That goes down fast. But the people's Bitcoin, Sami's going to be shilling this so hard, along with that stupid PDI coin that just won't die. And just like my chart, won't load. But it's all good. Clear pool. Nice little pump up to 18 cents. Ray Nooner was talking about it the other day. It's one of his sponsors that they pay him money, and I talk about Clearpool more than him. And they've never paid me $1. They don't even know who I am. It's funny how that works. But yeah, a lot of stuff. Everything's just in the red right now. Kind of sucks. TFC, though, was actually moving nice up to a cent and a half. Yi was ripping, but don't back down. Oh, well. Price doesn't matter, guys. The new in PulseChain, the Liberty swap. And these guys either, I'll have to look at my logs again. API. Yeah, it does, Tint Top. It's going to be, it should average around, I think it said 19% a year. So as people come in and lock, their yield goes down. So people forget or they're lazy. So the first couple days, you get a super high reward, which is awesome. And then as it, drops down during the week, whatever. But I'll take it, bro. I know where it's going. And just to be able to get 19%, if you lock 1 billion of them up, there's 190 million coins that you're going to get in interest. So it's like, oh my God. That just gets me excited, bro. And that's how, guys, that's how you use time to your advantage in crypto. Okay. You find a phenomenal project. Yeah. Tiff knows. She knows Cubic is special. She's done the research. She's watched some of the great Crypto Escapes content, going down the rabbit hole about Satoshi. And man, just earning that. I just know the potential of Cubic and where it can go. Looking at his other projects, they went so fast, so hard. He has so much money he's going to send him himself. The amount of Monero mining they're doing right now. Oh, man. Oh, it's exciting, guys. The PulseChain is an opportunity just as big as Cubic. Richard Hart is one of the 5 richest people in all of crypto. He has so much money sitting in the SAC funds. Wrong tab. Right here. He's now in profit. And my rating is right. For every 1% gain in ETH, Richard gets a cool $6 million. $6 million. So we do go up 50%. There's 300 million more, like 400 or 350-ish. We double that there. Oh my God. This is just crazy talk. And people are fading PulseChain. And that's not including everything he personally has too. And all the ETH he has from Hex probably back in the day. Do not fade him. He's the GOAT. And if he was back right now, being able to stream, people would be just feeling completely different. But that's okay. That's how I know it's opportunity. Because there's a lot of new people that are panicking, haven't been through this before. They're over leveraged. They didn't know what they were doing. And they just suck at crypto. So they're loud and they freak out. Well, that's how I know there's opportunity. You know, look at this. ETH shatters its record inflows with 2.81 billion in volume. It's not stopping, guys. And I was looking at this little note here. DYDX chain cumulatively spends $2 million in fees to acquire and stake 2.8 million tokens under buyback program. This is huge. This is proof showing you that you need some kind of utility to your project. Instead of shilling, oh, you know, we're going to change the world by having, you know, this new DeFi platform, layer 4, no fees, infinite scalability, you know, metaverse coming, all this nonsense. Well, now, you know what? That's great. You could promise us that, but you better start giving revenue share back. And that's going to become a huge thing. Well, this is our project. This is what we do. And this is how much we give back to our holders. And that's where crypto is going to change. You know, where we start, instead of paying gas to use these blockchains, they're going to pay us to be on them. And people can't comprehend that world where you go on a DApp and they pay you to scroll through a feed and be on a platform, instead of being drained and your data getting stolen from you and then sold on the black market or whatever they do. What if an AI model, a decentralized AI model, paid you to learn your data and what, not steal from you, but like listen to what you do, follow what you do, and just learn from you. And then you have millions of humans where AI are actually learning from. They're not being manipulated by Sodomy Sam Altman. That's what we're going to call him. SS Altman. Double S Altman. People trust 2 dudes that adopted a kid, that he's going to put out an AI that is not biased or spying on you or doing something horrible. Get the hell out of here. That's why it's not going to work, guys. They're going to waste all this money, and this is why it's going to be the biggest bubble ever. The biggest bubble ever is coming for projects that don't give you back money or pay back enough to keep people there and a community strong through a bear market. Things are really going to start to change. You know, and this is what is going to cause the decline. And the massive blow up this cycle is over leveraging and all these treasuries buying crypto. All these companies borrowing money to buy crypto. You know, if this is not going to, look at this. Strategy debuts 4th preferred stock offering called Stretch as Bitcoin holdings top 600,000. How's the price not even gone up? Where they've just acquired 100,000 Bitcoin in the last 2 months. Where are all those on the market? Are you serious? Like, so now they just decide to pull out 80,000 from Satoshi's wallet so they can just start giving them to these people while the United States doesn't even know how many we have on our balance sheet or how many they sold. There's something's not right. Something just doesn't add up here. And I just don't know how, with Trump Media becoming the 5th largest Bitcoin treasury company amid a $2 billion splurge, I don't know. Maybe it happens after Trump gets out or something. They're going to keep it pumping and pumping and pumping while they're in here and just make as much money as possible. And then, you know, in a couple of years, who cares what happens? We made it, we got it, and we're out of here. And just leave it to, let it blow up and leave it to the next. Like, I don't know. But it just doesn't feel organic anymore, where everyone just hated it and hated it and hated it for so long. It was trashed. And then all of a sudden now everyone is just obsessed with Bitcoin, has to have Bitcoin. And now we got to have ETH or Solana treasuries, da-da-da-da-da. It's like, how do you go from hating it that fast to just FOMOing in this hard? It just doesn't, I don't know. Doesn't feel responsible for huge companies like that. Doesn't feel like that's how you do business. But yes, it is. Will Robinhood's tokenized stocks really take over the world? No, they're not. You don't own anything. You own a share that is a share that they bought and hold somewhere else. So until they actually take stock, and this is going to take over the world in a sense, tokenized stocks, but not Robinhood's. It's going to be next year when BlackRock launches the new tokenized stock exchange down in Texas, where companies that come out, their shares are issued on the blockchain. And that way you actually hold those shares if you buy the right thing. It'll be just like crypto. They'll be releasing tokenized shares on the market, and they'll be fractionalized, so you can buy, you know, 1/10 of a share, but you'll actually own that. You're not going to own a derivative of one that Robinhood bought from another party. And that's exactly what they say down in here. It's like, yeah, that's cool, but you don't own these things. They're not stocks at all. They're a synthetic representation of a shared yield in a vault somewhere. Exactly. So if something happens or they want them, you're screwed. You're automatically now like a creditor in line under a bankruptcy. So, guys, just look. If you don't know about rwa.xyz, go there and look at it and just check it out and look at all the stable coins now, all the asset classes they have on here: stable coins, U.S. treasuries, global bonds, private credit, commodities, institutional funds, stocks. Like these are all brand new that are coming on chain. And you can start looking and seeing what chains they're on. You know, Stellar, Polygon, Algorand, ETH. ETH's number 1 right now, but I don't think it's the future. You know, all of the front runners of the first never are the ones that survive or are the big winners in the long run. Very rarely. So it's just as good if you want to check the site out and then what I like about it is the latest news here is they have so many great articles here about what's actually going on in the world where you're not going to see on CoinMarketCap or these other sites. So rwa.xyz, check it out. And if you're swapping on Uniswap, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You're a bad person. You're wasting money and giving away coins to greedy assholes when Switch.win gets you a better rate and more tokens on Base, Ethereum, and rumor is PulseChain is being worked on. So this is awesome. It goes out and finds the cheapest swapping out there on all the different different dexes. It's an aggregator and it does a search, kind of like if you want to go on vacation, you look for a hotel, you go to kayak.com or whatever, and you search, and it basically goes and searches all the rooms instead of having to call a hotel and book a room. This searches all of them around. And the fees actually are going to be used, hopefully, potentially, to reward or benefit users or more holders. One or the other. I ought to know these things, but I've been so busy farming lately that, man, I'm loving it. Now I got chickens. I'll never ever live without chickens again. Yeah, bro. It's all about the tech. It's all about the tech. For the 0.1% that isn't vaporware, I'm here for it. But the other 99.9, exactly, it's captured attention and it's a rebrand. So many projects from last cycle, I remember, are now AI or metaverse plays. Or AI or real world asset plays. I mean, it's so funny. I was like, no, I remember last time you guys were trying to build metaverse or some shit, and now you're a real world asset. It's like, what? And what's even crazy too, actually, is like CoinMarketCap. If you look at their list of real world assets or AI coins, it's like Quant was in here. And I'm like, how the hell is Quant a freaking AI coin? But it was on here. Echelon Prime. I don't know how that's an AI coin either. Echelon Prime is a Web3 ecosystem advancing in the next generation of gaming. That's why I own it, because it was a gaming play. And now I realize, like, I think gaming is a stupid use case for blockchain. I don't think it'll ever be big. I think it was a pure money grab. So I'm not buying any more gaming coins or even gonna really be talking about it. I'm just holding the ones I have. And yeah, I don't like it anymore. Yeah, Hex and Pulsar, exactly. No, bro, actually, yeah, they are. Ink was the real world asset play. That's right. That's right. I keep confusing Hex and Ink for AI and real world assets. Yeah, I got to actually get in touch with CoinMarketCap and have them fix that, because people are going to be confused. So yeah, guys, this is what's going to be what blows up this cycle. Don't let anyone tell you, oh, this time's going to be different. Yeah, the cycles might be different. This cycle might go on into late 2026, where people are saying, oh, this time's different. Bitcoin's going to 1 million. But guys, it's going to blow up. I promise you. Maybe around the debt restructuring next year. Maybe they're not going to cut rates really, but next year they're going to really cut rates. Maybe we get one rate cut in like September and markets really move. And then towards like March, we get rumor that in like the May's meeting, we're going to cut like 1.5 points, and people are going to get so bullish, and that's going to be the end of it or something like that. But nobody knows, guys. And that's why I'm not ever selling out of any of my bags. Once ETH makes a new all-time high and starts pumping, I'm going to start selling like 1% of altcoins that start moving. But I'm never going to sell out of more than 75% of my bag. I'm going to keep 25% of the ones that, unless it's like one that I don't really like, which are very few that I hold now, I'm going to keep 25% just in case we keep running and we have like a double top or a fake out, because so many people are traumatized from the meme coin cycle. They think this cycle's ending, in 2 months. That's all we got left, and it's going to be over by the end of the year. I could see us like fake being over and then ripping hard and blowing off top. So yeah, don't sell out of everything this cycle, especially unless it's a shit coin or a meme coin or something. But if it's something like Clearpool or, Titan X or PulseX, maybe don't sell out of it this cycle. Maybe keep 20-25% in case we keep moving. Like, everyone's different. If you really need the money, obviously sell it all. But I think I need to get a little more H coins before the market freaks out and they find out. Yeah, bro. You have to, bro. 100%. Richard Hart's coins are so undervalued right now. They're so undervalued. Like Liberty Swap, guys, this is so big for PulseChain. You can now get on from Base, Ethereum, Binance, Arbitrum, all to PulseChain instantly, privately. Like, this is so big, guys. This solves the problem of, yo, how do I get the PulseChain? This is such a pain in the ass. Should I just buy it on Ethereum, wrap Pulse? Like, this fixes it. And Liberty Swap too, guess what? They made it to pulsechain.com. If you're already in crypto, bridge over using the PulseChain bridge, Gibbs Finance, Liberty Swap, or any of the other options available. Token Express, D-Bridge, Llama Swap, or All Bridge. So, guys, this is all we need now. You don't need any of those other things. We have it right here with Liberty Swap. It's fantastic. And they've been so bullish posting about PDI rumors, which they could just be playing along to get people to use the bridge to make some money. But it's onboarding people. It's good. And it has people speculating again, talking, and they're not arguing and fighting because we're getting some green candles. And they're going to continue to pump super hard. PulseChain is going to run like crazy, guys. Base and PulseChain are my two sleepers. And then obviously XLM, XRP, HBAR, Flare for like the mainstream stuff. But yeah, and then Titan X, that too is going to run so hard. But Titan X is going to be so tied to PulseChain. Once we start really running here, there's going to be a lot of liquidity bonded together between them and projects working to bridge that gap. Because we're much stronger as allies instead of competing with each other. When if you look on chain, it's like all the Titan X whales are hexagons and pulsagons, or they came from Zen. So we all own all the same coins anyway. But yeah, guys, that's all I had for tonight. I just wanted to come on and give a little update, talk to the people for a minute. I'm going to be on with the homies with Mo and Chris and the fellas at 10 o'clock here. So I will definitely, I'll definitely stream it on here and definitely check it out. Should be a good show. And yeah, fam, look at this. I'm stoked. The latest Pokemon set just released. Black Bolt and White Flare. So I got the Pokemon Center ETBs. You have to have an alert set up because these dropped like 4 months ago. And I got the alert on Twitter. I immediately went to the website, waited in line for an hour, and was able to get one of each for $60. And now I could dump it for like $130. And in like 5 years, this will be a $500 box. So Pokemon is awesome. And if you're looking to look for something to cash out from crypto, if you want, instead of real estate or stuff, if you're not sure you want to be a landlord and go through all that, you could buy Pokemon boxes that now are like $400 or $500, and there's no way they're going to go down at all. Like, they're going to be in 5 years, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, and a booster box is like smaller than this. So you can get a case, which is 6 boxes, and I would say it's like maybe 2.5 feet by 8 inches tall. You could stack if you have this like a little corner, you could stack like 30 cases, and that could be $5-6 grand a case. So you could stack a couple $100,000 in like a little wood pile, a teeny one, like, or in the corner. So they're easy to store. They're small, and it's a physical asset, and it's the biggest IP in the world. It's number one. We'd like to talk about collectibles if you have time. Yeah, anytime. What about Magic of Dragon sets? Magic the Gathering? Yeah, bro. I got some Final Fantasy gift bundles behind me. I was gonna buy a box, but bro, I was gonna buy it at $450 or $485. I was like, I don't know, this is expensive. And now they're like $1,300 or something. So, well, I got a Fallout collector box. I paid $209 for it, and now it's worth $1,100 or something, or $1,200. Some of them are crazy. But yeah, I've been collecting Pokemon hard lately. And since 2020, 2021, Pokemon and Magic. And I'm well into the 6 figures now with everything. But I'm consistently buying stuff. Like, I spend, a couple $100 a week easily buying different boxes and stuff and just throw them in the closet. I've never sold a Pokemon item yet. I'm selling some Magic singles right now that I opened 5 years ago when I got back into it and I bought some boxes. I was like, I'm just going to open a couple. And sure enough, I opened up way more than I should have. And they're worth a decent amount now, but just the hassle of having to go through and sell them, where there's websites out there now that it's called Probstein. And all you do is you ship them all your sealed stuff and you'll get up to 95% back minus the shipping. So it's like 7 or 8% if you send them like $20,000 of stuff. They'll sell it all for you. And because I sell stuff on eBay, and it's about 15% right now between the listing fee, between the shipping fee, and everything they take out. It's about 15%. So you sell a box for $300, they're taking $45. You're immediately, at $255. So, if something's worth $300 and you're going around to a card show and someone offers you $275 and you're thinking, oh, it's worth $300, no way. You're actually making more selling it for $275 than you would on eBay. That's how I know I've met someone that's never sold before. And that's the hard thing. It's called Probstein. Hold on a second. Selling with Probstein right here. So you ship them your cards, and if it's over $1,000, you get 95%. If it's under 100, you get 85. So it's for like people where you have a big collection and you don't want to, sell everything individually. So it really is awesome. So I could just take these, in 5 years when they're worth $500 a pop, and then just send them out along with, 50 other boxes that are worth 20 grand, and they'll sell it all and I don't have to do a thing. So it's really cool. Which this stuff didn't exist before. I really like this. And another cool one, bro, is Collector app. Collector app. There's no O, but you download it and it keeps track of everything you have. So it does sealed and singles for Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Vanguard, Weiss, Flesh and Blood, MetaZoo, Dragon Ball, pretty much every major card game. So I have almost all my stuff. I still got to import some of my Flesh and Blood singles that I bought from back in the day, but I've imported everything in here, and it keeps track and it shows you how much everything's worth, each item, how much it's gone up, and it constantly scans TCG Player and eBay for the last sold price, and it gives like an average of what it's worth. So it's really cool. It's a way, so you're on your phone, you go down here to search, you have an item, like would have this box, and I would type in, Scarlet and Violet, White Flare, Pokemon Center trainer box, and it'd come up, and I add one to my portfolio, and now it's in there. So it's a really cool way to keep track of all your stuff. It's awesome. It's awesome. What up, fam? Wrapping up, we're talking about Pokemon, bro. That's where we are right now. Scarlet and Violet, White Flare, and Black Bolt, Pokemon Center ETBs. The rarest item you can get of this set. And yeah, tune in at 10. I'm going to be on with the homies, with Chris from the Verse, with the Mo, with Gugat, I think, with Nate, with Council LP, and all them. So I'm going to restream it on this channel right here in like, 20 minutes or so, 10 o'clock. So we'll be back with some more alpha. I just wanted to pop on, haven't streamed for a couple days, been super busy. Feel like you guys missed me. I'm just kidding. Smash that like button. We'll see you.
At Vibra Finance, we seek out the hidden gems in cryptocurrency. We will tailor your portfolio to work for you. Are you ready to transition your investments from traditional markets to cryptocurrency? Are your coins staked and earning interest? Are you overwhelmed with all the jargon in crypto? Is your portfolio underperforming and you want to reposition into consistent winning blue chip coins and viable projects? Do you feel like you missed out on DeFi, Metaverse, and NFTs? Here at Viber Finance, we provide you with the data, skills, and tools you need to stay on top of the digital asset market. Viber Finance, we are the future of crypto.